All right, guys, we have more Monsterverse drama. This one's a bit differently, as usually the Monsterverse drama revolves around the game being taken down, banned, or the release dates being pushed. But today is actually quite different because the drama is with the developers of the game. So this one is actually regarding Peacherino doll over on Twitter. And I believe, I might be wrong, but I believe she is actually the owner of Monsterverse and main creator. And there was a bit of controversy as some of their previous tweets have kind of came back into the light regarding saying the R word. So the particular tweet that everybody's kind of been circulating says a profile picture, my OC, like, are you R word? And that's why you can't understand the difference between anime and an originally drawn character. So this tweet, along with many others, have unfortunately been brought to light from the past of Peacherino, and she did let the community know that she was not ignoring this being brought back up. She was taking a bit of time to reflect, and she was going to make a statement, which has just hit Twitter. So let's check out what she has to say. Okay, so on November the 2nd, Not Royal Bow posted, I probably said that name wrong, but they posted, is this also out of context? You still have time to fix your reputation, by the way. And they posted the picture that you guys just seen. So Peacherino did respond to, I replied to another comment regarding these comments. If you want, I can include the tweet if you can check my replies. With a heart. They then posted, I beg you to learn how to simply accept the fact that you did something bad and you need to apologize. The lack of ability to take accountability in your own words, you act like a 14-year-old who's fresh in the internet. Shame on you. Peacherina then replied, I apologize. You had asked if it was out of context, and I wanted to answer that. The full explanation of this was me going back and forth with a stalker of mine who tried to dox me. They failed, then tried to fat shame me, and it was dumb and completely my fault how I reacted. Now, Peacherino has actually just posted a full statement and apology on Twitter, and we're going to be going over all of it, so get ready. They posted, hello, do not paraphrase. I want to start off by offering my sincerest apologies for the language I used back in 2020, specifically the R word. There's no excuse for it. I was an ill-informed teenager who didn't understand what was acceptable to say at the time. When I learned the harmful association behind the word, I stopped using it completely. I've kept that harmful language in the past in 2020 where it belongs. I'm very thankful for my community and others who have held me accountable because the community that I want to build is one where I want people that are encouraged to hold their leaders and peers to a higher standard. That word has continued to hurt our community in so many ways, and I'm deeply sorry for contributing to the harm both then and now. Seeing someone who speaks for inclusivity make that kind of mistake is disappointing, and it truly breaks my heart that I ever caused that kind of pain. I can't undo it, but I can acknowledge it and make sure my actions moving forward show how much that I've changed. Then they continue, the rest of this document addresses other comments that I've made in the past. If you only wish to read the final apology, please skip to the end, but we're actually going to continue and read through the full statement that they gave. So let's start with the first topic that they discussed about Islam. So they said, Islam is the faith I grew up in with as a child. My Umi encouraged me to follow her faith, but also gave me the room to explore my own understanding of religion and spirituality. She always believed that faith is personal, not a straight line, and that people grow with their beliefs as they grow through life. So this is in reply to the comment below they posted on Twitter back in 2022. The comment that they said was, yeah, kind of like Naomi Campbell, she has such God vibes. Like, if asked what I think Allah looks like, Naomi is pretty close. So following that tweet back in 2022, they also posted, I think it depends entirely if this person believes in Islam. I'm Muslim myself, and when these jokes are made with others in my community, it's funny. But I also understand when shared to other audiences, it can be very inappropriate. So following up these tweets, continuing on her apology statement, she said, "While I no longer identify with Islam as an adult, my beliefs now lean more agnostic. My comments about Allah were never meant to insult or mock anyone's faith. They reflected my own conclusion and exploration at the time. For many, that perspective can seem blasphemous, but I also understand this. I apologize to anyone that was hurt by those words. I don't push my beliefs onto others and have no issue with anyone's religion or lack thereof. I learned to find peace in respecting all faiths equally, and I hope those who were upset can understand that in the time it did come from ignorance, not malice." So following that, Peacherino does continue, and they posted my comments on Queen Elizabeth and other individuals who have enacted violence and harm in their lifetime. They continued, "I want to clarify right off the bat that I would never talk about any individuals or people who have done nothing but spread positivity, cheer, and kindness. This is in reference to the sweet Lizzie Winkle. I apologize to family members and friends of the deceased party who came across that comment misinformed about the context and assumed I was speaking about their beloved family member or friend." So the tweet in question was from back in 2022, where Peacherino tweeted, "Y'all are burning with Lizzie." In her statement, she continues, "My words were only directed towards Queen Elizabeth II, who passed away 3 days before my comment. It was about her legacy of imperialism and the harm caused under her reign, not an innocent person who shared her name. In the original thread, I clarified that I meant Queen Lizzie, and everyone explained that to friends who asked. I would never speak about someone who was genuinely such a kind soul to this earth and in no way, shape, or form." They also tweeted back in 2022 following this, "Nah, I meant the Queen, never that sweetheart." Continuing the statement, they posted, "I want to strongly emphasize that my comment was strictly in reference to Queen Elizabeth and nobody else. If anyone, especially Lizzie Winkle's family, friends, or fans saw my comment out of context and felt hurt, I am deeply sorry for that misunderstanding. I deeply regret that my wording caused confusion, and I completely understand how upsetting that must have been. The mention of my old post from when I was 12 years old about wanting Royal High to add wings only made the mix-up worse, and for that, I truly apologize." Then they also posted from 2018 a tweet where Night Barbie said, "We are going to work on Halloween." Peach then replied, "Barbie, will I ever be able to get the wings from 2017 event that I was there for? And I even got the achievement, but I was too poor, and at the time, it was super hard to get any form of money. Will items from the past events only be there for people who was there or had the achievement?" Then she goes on to continue this statement about the theft claims. They posted another post that's been shared was from when I was around 12, talking about a minigame idea that I wanted added into Royal High. Again, I was 12. Digital footprint you'll all never forget, where you could steal or carry in-game assets to hit people over the head. It was just a silly childhood idea. I had no understanding of what game development even was, or what stealing assets meant. This seemed more like a nitpick to me, and I genuinely find it silly that people are dragging it up from the depths of my 2017, 2018. Well, it's not serious. I understand why people want clarification. I never actually stole anything. It was just a bad choice of words from a kid with no experience." Then they post, "This is the only other image I could find referencing the original tweet, where Peacherino posted, 'Random Royal High idea part 3 that I totally wouldn't do. So I wish you had the option to steal in Royal High, like irrelevant stuff, like the fountain girl or the lamp or just something dumb. I'd say something like, boink, as I proceeded to take the lamp.'" So then they posted their conclusion to the statement. "To conclude, I want to sincerely apologize again to everyone affected by my old comments or language. I've grown so much since then, and I take full accountability for the things that I said. I don't use that language anymore, and I actively work to make sure others around me feel safe and respected. Accountability and acknowledgement matter. It's the only way that we move forward. I believe in building a community where we can make our own mistakes and learn from them and grow together. I hope people see that my actions now reflect the person I've become, not who I was years ago. An apology is empty if you've done nothing to actually change the actions of your words. Moving forward, I will continue to spread the ideology that I preach and hope others hold me to the same standard as I saw today. It's important to me that my past does not overshadow the inclusive, safe space that I'm building today. Thank you for reading this far, and I want to conclude again with I'm sorry. So that's where things stand right now. The old tweets have definitely stirred up a lot of mixed reactions, but it seems the Monsterverse owner is taking full accountability and trying to move forward from it. They've made it clear that they've grown up since then and understand the harm that those words can cause. And that the Lizzie tweet was never about the late Lizzie Winkle, but about Queen Elizabeth II. At the end of the day, it's a reminder that the words online can resurface years later, and that growth and owning up to mistakes really do matter. We'll just have to see how the community responds moving forward. Anyway, that's all for today's video. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you think her apology was genuine, or do you feel like it's too late? Make sure, of course, to subscribe if you want to see more Roblox drama. Hype today's video. Stay glittery, and I'll see you next time.